Hey everyone, it's Sunday the 15th of December. I'm just about to head off to take Shaka to a vet. Sadly, the last 48 hours he's deteriorated really badly, to the point where he can't stand up unsupported. I've got to support him via the harness, so he can stand up. He soiled himself overnight in his bed. He's not interested in eating for the past 48 hours. He hasn't had a thing to drink for 48 hours, despite my best efforts to try and get something down with him. He has had some food when I've hand fed him, but he throws it all up again. So he's not really holding anything down. He doesn't seem to be suffering or in pain as such, but clearly he's not well, and I don't want him to suffer. So I've phoned around several vets. I phoned vets yesterday, actually on Saturday, whilst it was operating hours, and the one vet that was open in the local area refused to see him because he was not registered with them, which is really disappointing. So I found an out of hours or emergency vet that's willing to see him and charging me a reasonable amount of money to put him to sleep, if that is what the decision is. I think they've quoted £120. Other emergency services in the area here in North Norfolk, they charge in excess of £250, £300 just to put him to sleep, which I think is a ridiculous amount of money, to put a dog or a pet to sleep. However, I don't want him to suffer unnecessarily waiting for the vet to open again tomorrow, and possibly be charged less. I really don't want to put him through discomfort or pain of any type. So, gotta head off now and see what they say. So this is the old boy. As you can see, his tail is still full of remnants of poop, but very skinny in the spine, sticking out there. But he really isn't responsive. He doesn't want to go out. He doesn't want to drink. He doesn't want to eat. So we shall take him and see what the vet has to say. This was undoubtedly one of the most difficult journeys I've undertook. Shaka came into my life in 2020, April of 2020, as a 8-week-old puppy. It was quite soon after my split from the ex-wife, the mother of my kids, and he basically represented a new start and a companion, as it were, for the fact that I was now living on my own. He was attacked around about 8 or 9 months of age by our own Yorkshire Terrier, which we had at the time. And unfortunately, since that episode, he wasn't very friendly with other dogs. I think it was just PTSD, to be honest. As much as I tried to train him, I had other trainers involved, we just couldn't get him to the point of accepting other dogs and animals. But he was a lover of people, and he had a very social life. When I owned my house, this is actually when I started noticing his head shakes. As you can see here, not pleasant to look at, but at the time he wasn't in pain and he was fully aware of his surroundings, etc. But this led to the discovery of his epilepsy, which he was then obviously treated for with EpiPen on a daily basis, and subsequently, as soon following the diagnosis and treatment, he never had an episode again. But yeah, he obviously was my best buddy, someone who was with me through thick and thin, and my companion whilst I lived alone in the house. At roughly the same time as his epilepsy was diagnosed, and you can see the shaven area on his just behind his neck there where they did the tests. He was also suffering with mobility issues, as you can see here. tests showed that basically he was riddled with arthritis throughout his skeleton, all legs, spine, everywhere basically. Following that diagnosis and x-rays, he was actually operated on his cruciate ligaments, so his back legs. But yeah, you can see here just how bad he was. He put on a little bit of weight because obviously he wasn't very mobile. That procedure for the two back legs cost something like £5,000, and with the tests, etc., I believe came to around 6,500 or something. Fortunately, at the time, I was insured, and if you have a pet and you're not insured, please consider it, because if I hadn't had insurance at the time, his life probably would have ended far sooner, because I just wasn't in a position at that time to, pay £6,500 for his cruciate ligaments operation. The scan for his head shakes to diagnose his his epilepsy cost just for the scan was £3,500. So in total, those two issues came to around £10,000, and then the insurance also paid for his ongoing medication for several years after that. So yeah, if you do have a pet, please do consider insurance, because vets in the UK are not cheap. This video was taken a few days after his kidney failure diagnosis, which happened on the the 10th of October. He was diagnosed. At the time, the vet said to me, basically, she said it was quality over quantity at that time. The kidney failure was quite severe to the point it wasn't producing blood cells, etc. So I knew, you know, I knew it was coming. I knew I had to spend what time I had left with him. So try to make it as pleasant as possible. Sadly, near to the end, because he wasn't eating, I couldn't really spoil him. I couldn't, and because the vet made it very clear that because of his kidney failure, he couldn't process a lot of protein and things like that. I had to still be very careful with what I treated him with, because it would have just made matters worse. So it was quite a tricky situation. I wanted to spoil him, but at the same time, I wanted to try and prolong, and have as much time with him as possible. As I approached the veterinary clinic, it really started hitting home about, what was likely to occur once I arrived there. Shaka had been ill since the Friday. This was a Sunday, the 15th of December. He had started becoming really ill from the Friday. On the Saturday, I called around to several of the local vets that were open, sadly, and really concerningly, actually, is that none of them would see him because he wasn't registered with them, despite me explaining to them, his condition, that it was likely to be end of life situation. They just wouldn't see him. So on the Sunday, I just wasn't prepared to let him suffer any longer. And I phoned around for some emergency vets and found one not too far from where I was based that was willing to see him. So yeah, this was approaching the end of, as I say, one of the worst journeys I've ever had to undertake in my life. So I'm at the vet now. Vet has had a look at Shaka and has essentially confirmed that the best thing to do is to put him out because he is in pain.
So I've checked the price again for you. It's 280 for everything.
280 for everything.
Yeah.
With what kind of, is that with the ashes and
with the ashes and everything? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's okay. Okay. So, is there a way we can turn him around?
Yeah. Just turn the whole bed around. I think it's gonna be the easiest.
It's just because I need
or
to
just I can pull him out.
Yeah, we can do that as well. Okay. We can put him a blanket as well. He's not using his back legs. No. It's okay, baby. I'm just gonna put it here, okay? Okay. So what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna put an just put the no, you're not happy right now.
Okay. I'll put this on.
Yes.
It's okay, baby.
Ready?
Yep.
He's not gonna feel anything, okay? He's just gonna fall asleep, alright? Do you want some time before we gonna start? I know it's really hard, but you need to keep in mind you don't be fucking okay, not let him die. Unfortunately, with kidney disease, there's nothing we can do. It's a progressive disease.
I know. Go on.
No, 15 years for a staffy, it's amazing. Right? I know it's really bad, but keep in mind, if you wouldn't do it,
I know.
he would be getting worse and worse.
Yeah,
from day
that's
to
why I
day.
didn't want to wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, I really think it's a good thing we can do something like that for our animals. I think it's unfair we can't do it for other people, because for me myself, I would never like to be stuck in bed. Should we take him inside?
It's okay, baby. I think that's gonna be the easiest way to do it. Come on, Shaka.